Hi everyone. You have to get to the heart of the dis-ease to get to the root and the cause of the disease. The reason why I wanted to talk to you about that today is I was really guided in this video to talk to you about the emotions that we hold within us and how those emotions actually formulate the cellular frequency that we hold within our body. I'm Susan Kennard, and I'm known as the spiritual scientist. And the reason why I'm known as a spiritual scientist is because I like to look at the science, the evidence, as well as the spiritual. And we can't take away from the fact that we are an integrated being. My background's psychology and psychotherapy, neuropsychology, you name it. But I'm a channel to source as well. So I see, hear, feel, get all the guidance and information from my team of guides. And I see into the body. And what I've been noticing recently, for quite a while, is that things are shifting within our cellular structure. And so we're actually becoming more light, more crystalline in our experience. And as that happens, we are stepping more fully onto this ascension pathway. And this ascension pathway is something that has not been easy for some people. And so what's been happening is the emotions, the unwanted emotions that have been laying dormant there for a long time. I'm just going to put my YouTube on so if anyone comes on live. So essentially these unwanted emotions that have been laid dormant for a long time have been settling in there, in our heart, in our emotions, are actually coming out as a dis-ease, as a disease, as something that needs our attention. And so I've noticed that quite a lot with people, and you may have noticed it too. When we're stepping onto this ascension pathway, anything that is not of the frequency of unconditional love, the frequency of acceptance, the frequency of ease and grace is being thrown out. You know, we had a big kind of solstice, obviously, the other week, and we had a new moon, and we're now in the throes of coming into this new astrological year. And so this is a time where we really need to look at what do we really want to take into this year with us? What do we want to let go of and leave behind? And if there's any unwanted emotions, any resentment, any guilt, any fear, anything like that hanging around, you may have seen that it has been coming up in your body. So you may have noticed that you've been feeling pretty sick at the moment, headachy. You may have had labels. You may have tested for something. You may have, all of that kind of stuff. But aside from that, we're looking at this beautiful barometer for our soul. And your soul knows exactly why you're here. It knows exactly what it was supposed to do. And it is talking to you via your body, which is kind of a vehicle for your soul. So if you imagine it as the jacket that holds your soul, right? So when you think of it that way, it's very simple. It's our job to listen to the messages of our soul. And so when it comes to mission, if we're looking at our mission, we're looking at what was it that we chose to do when we came here? What was it that we actually wanted to be of service? So if you think of it, thank you, Debbie. Thank you. It was a great Christmas here. And hi, David. Yeah, it's been a rough week for some people. So if you think of it as, you've got this soul and you put on your jacket, and the jacket is your vehicle. So your jacket is your body, it's your cellular structure, it's all of the organs, it's your brain, it's everything. And all of that is integrated. And the emotions and the feelings that we hold within our heart is actually that frequency that goes out to the world, to the universe. And so, yes, it's part of the whole of our frequency, but it's actually held in our heart field. And there's an institute called the Heart Math Institute, and they've done a huge amount of research. And it is about having heart coherence. So when you have a heart coherence, you're actually at a frequency, the guides are stepping in now, a frequency where you can really truly feel that sense of peace and presence. And with that peace and presence, you can manifest, obviously, because you're coming to that place of remembering who you are. Okay? You can't manifest from fear. Well, you can, but what you get back is fear or something to be afraid of. Yeah. And you can't manifest from a sense of urgency because all you're getting is a sense of, I have to have it and I'm scared if I don't have it. So you're just going to get back that frequency. Okay. So when we're looking at that, we're looking at this body being this incredible vehicle and barometer. And it's our job to listen to it. Okay. And with this ascension light that's coming in, well, it's come in actually, and we're in this ascension light. What happened was there was a massive flooding of light. And that flooding of light came in from the higher realms, from the great central sun, and came into our physicality and literally shone the light. The guides are saying, shone the light on the areas that needed healing. Okay. So if you've been feeling tired, if you've been feeling, well, unwell, of course, but if you've been feeling any of those things, headaches, anything like that, then know that that has been a really big upgrade for you. Now, if you took something to suppress that, such as antibiotics, something like that, then just watch what happens when the next moon comes up. So, we've got the full moon coming up in Cancer, in the sign of Cancer. And wherever that falls in your chart will be the indication. I run astrology events twice a month, so you can find all of that on my website, susankennard.co.uk. But in the meantime, you can look at like what happens if you've suppressed that stuff, if you've suppressed any infection or anything like that. Sometimes we need to because it's a life or death, and penicillin was only formed, for life and death. It was not something that was supposed to be used just for some slight infection. That's not what it was for, but it has been used for that. And so therefore the body now can't really use penicillin that way or antibiotics very well. So we have like superbugs and things like that now, which you know about. But essentially, if you've suppressed that, then what will happen is the time of the next new moon or full moon, the body's going to try and clear that out because the body just wants to heal. When I trained as a naturopath many moons ago, like 17 years ago, maybe even more, nearly 20 years ago, I learnt that the body will never do anything against you. And that was fascinating for me because it made me realize, like, wow, your body is literally constantly talking to you and doing the best it possibly can for you without actually, harming you in any way. And yet what happens is we are told that we have to battle something, we have to fight it, we have to kill it, we have to do all of those things. But all we're doing by doing that is actually shifting our consciousness to fear. So we're from fear, so we have to kill something, we have to battle it, we have to get rid of it. And we're actually doing that to ourselves. Because there is no separation between our vehicle, our soul, our mind, etc. There's no separation, it's all one. So because it's all one and it's all communicating with each other at all times, as we are saying, I have to kill this, I have to battle this, I have to get rid of, we're actually saying that to ourselves. And when you think about, water, we're quite a lot of a percentage of water. When you think of those water, I think it was Emoto's water experiments where people spoke to the water with love, or they put a label that said love on one glass of water, and then on another glass of water put hate, or they spoke hateful words. What they noticed was the water in the hate one became stagnant. So if you imagine what we're doing is we're actually shifting our consciousness to give ourselves that message. Okay, so if you've been feeling that you are battling something, you are you're battling something, and you're coming to a place where you feel you want to kind of let that go now, because you know that it's really about loving yourself and it's about saying there's got to be something else, then these words might be really helpful for you. So if you're feeling unwell and you're feeling that you need to heal yourself, then words of compassion are really helpful. So you want to start with something like this. You want to start with, I'm so sorry. And then you want to say how you feel. So you might want to say to yourself, I'm so sorry that you feel so unwell. I'm so sorry that you feel so tired. I'm so sorry that you feel so confused. And whatever is happening in your body. So if you're exhausted, fed up, angry, sad, whatever emotion it is, really listen to how you feel. So it might be, like you feel like your body's let you down. So you might want to say, I'm so sorry that you feel your body has let you down. And always use the you word. So never the I, use the you. And the reason why you say the you is because you're actually talking to a part of you that did not receive what it needed. Does that make sense? So essentially, it could be a child part of you, it could be a teenage part of you, it could be a part of you growing in the womb, it could be a part of you from other times. So what you're doing is you're actually accessing and you're saying, I get it. I am acknowledging you. I am understanding you. And you will notice that you'll start to feel just a little bit more. You'll feel lighter, you'll feel a lot freer, and you'll feel that there is an essence of you where you can start to shift and you can start to heal. Okay? So that's one way that you can actually start to really do something for yourself. So, I'm not saying don't see a doctor. I work with doctors. So I'm not saying don't see a doctor. I'm not saying don't get, advice or any information from a doctor. Definitely not. But what I am saying is you have to remember that we are not separate from our body or a soul or a mind, that we are truly an integrated being. Okay. So I hope that makes sense to you. And when you think of yourself, when the guides were working with me today, I was doing a mission reading with someone, and the guides were coming in, and the transmission that came through from the Syrian High Council was amazing, and they were really talking to the soul. And as they talked to the soul, I could see this expansion of light in this person, real expansion of light. And as that happened, I was looking at the DNA, and I could see in the DNA, and I could see the structures in the DNA, and it was just fascinating to see what was being released. And that's what happens when you really heal at cellular level, at that true crystalline level. And we're all here for this golden earth. You know, if you've found this video and if you're listening to this, and it would be lovely if you subscribed if this is the first time that you found this. But this information is guided to me to share with you so that you can heal yourself, so that you can align to your mission, so that you can remember who you are. Okay? So I'm just going to leave that with you for now. I hope you've enjoyed that information. I hope you found it really helpful. And definitely look out for my 5-minute frequency on Friday morning, because that is where you receive an activation of light language. Okay, much love for now.